Yes, now, ladies and gentlemen, it is Friday, the 22nd of September. Tomorrow is September the 23rd of September. Did I say September 20? Saturday, 23rd of September. Tomorrow, which means tomorrow is the Misfits X Series 009 Aaron Chalmers versus Idris Virgo, the main event. And it's in Newcastle, baby. It's in my hometown. I will be there tomorrow at Virtue Motors Arena. I will be there live in person from watching all the Misfits shows, enjoying them all, probably being a massive fan, too big of a fan, a bit of a nerd for Misfits X Series. But I will be there in person and I'll be witnessing the fight go down. First fight, let's talk about it. Tash Weekender versus Carla Jade. I know nothing about them, but I watched their face off. I watched the open workouts, watched the press conference, watched the weigh-ins. From what I can understand, Tash Weekender, she must have been on some show, and Carla Jade was a ring girl. From the looks of it, from the face off, what I've learned is Tash Weekender has had a fight. I don't think she won. Carla Jade though was a ring girl, but apparently she goes gym and she keeps herself in shape. Now, from the looks of things, from how they looked, I know nothing about them, so I'm just gonna guess. I'm gonna go with Carla Jade. I like Carla Jade more. I just like her energy more. I don't know. Carla Jade. That's my prediction. Next fight: Small Spartan J versus Pulley Arif. Pulley Arif. Small Spartan J was a calisthenics world champion or something. So it's like gymnastics, but it's not really gymnastics because it's a gym. It's like handstands, type like pull-ups, muscle type stuff. You know what I mean? Like the very hard stuff. He's Pulley Arif. However you want to say it, has fought before. I think he fought on the Kingpin, like the first ever Kingpin card. The Simple Simon Ed Matthews one. I can't remember who he fought. I think he won. I don't know, but he also fought Dean the Great. Now, despite getting dropped, he went all the rounds with Dean the Great, and Dean the Great is very good. Dean the Great knocked out Waleed Sharks, knocked out Evil Hero, won the tag team match. So he's one of the only single individuals to go all the rounds with Dean the Great one-on-one. But the only one to go all the rounds with Dean the Great one-on-one. But from what I've seen, Small Spartan J, I mean, it's in his name, he's small. He's a lot smaller than Pulley Arif. And Pulley Arif just has the boxing experience, and I'm just going to say Pulley Arif, I probably like him a bit more considering I know him, and I don't really know who Small Spartan J is, but Small Spartan J is obviously going to be athletic because he's in shape. So I reckon it could be a good fight, but I think Pulley Arif takes it, probably by decision, I would say, because Small Spartan J being an athletic man probably wouldn't gas. So if he was to get stopped, it would be like a clean knockout, which I don't know if Pulley Arif has that in his locker. Now, the final fight on a prelim, right? Those previous two fights were on the prelims. The next fight on the prelim, which I think should not be a prelim fight, because you've got, for the women, the Misfits, women's bantamweight championship, right? Which I believe was a vacant title, so I don't know why AJ Bunker has it, but whatever. It's a title fight and it's on a prelim with AJ Bunker and Lil Belzy, two people who have previously been on Misfits cards, and I don't think they should be on the prelim. But Little Belzy beat Lil Kimchi in that fight. Yeah, I didn't really. That's the one fight I didn't see because Misfits never uploaded it, so I didn't really see it. And AJ Bunker, she won on Kingpin card, I think. Oh no, she didn't. Or she just fought El Brook or something. I don't know. But she did fight Astrid Wet for Astrid Wet's title. She lost, but she broke her hand. She persevered. It was a good scrap. They went all the rounds. Probably one of the best women's fights we've had. And we haven't had many good women's fights. Not sexist, we just haven't by chance. So my prediction for this, I mean, in the build-up, apparently AJ Bunker's exposed Little Belzy for faking pregnancies. Again, I know nothing about them on social media. I just know them in the influencer boxing scene. So apparently Little Belzy's fake pregnancies and faked their mother's death or something like that. That's not cool, bro. But then again, I think AJ Bunker's like a OnlyFans model or something. But based on ability, I would say this is an AJ Bunker win, and I think she might wipe the floor with Little Belzy. I don't think she'll stop her, but I definitely think she'll dominate her because I think Little Belzy's quite tough. She's quite strong, and I don't think she'll go down easy. So my prediction's AJ Bunker. Next fight is Callum Izzard versus OJ Rose. Callum Izzard, I understand, has had a fight before against some guy. I think it was from that like Scotty T guy from Geordie Shore. I'm not quite sure though. But Callum Izzard won that fight, and OJ Rose fought on Misfits 06 against Kimbo Slice Jr. Was it 06? It was Misfits X Series 6 against Kimbo Slice Jr. and beat him by a stoppage. He was quite impressive, really. He had quite a bit of talent. I understand both men have quite a bit of talent, but just purely from me knowing who OJ Rose was, I'm going to go with OJ Rose. I think he's got quite a bit of talent, and then I'm just going to back him because I like his energy. I think he's cool. So OJ Rose, I'm picking you. Next, we've got Ben Davis versus Gabriel Silva. Again, I know neither of the men, but Gabriel Silva, Anderson Silva's son. You can understand from birth that kid's been put into kickboxing, boxing, Muay Thai, MMA, anything under the sun. Ben Davis is a fight commentator from what I've understood. Looking at the open workouts, not Ben Davis, Gabriel Silva clearly is an experienced fighter. He's had boxing matches before. Apparently he'd be like an 0-3, 0-6 fighter. But you know, as you do in your first fight, you know what I mean. And Ben Davis doesn't look in the best shape, obviously because he had to probably lose a lot of weight, and he probably is in good shape for him. But at the same time, I don't think he probably has that athleticism or experience as Gabriel Silva. I think it's an easy prediction to pick Gabriel Silva, so I'm going to pick Gabriel Silva. I think it's going to be knockout. I think that one's definitely going to be knockout. Gabriel Silva, you heard it here first. Now, the fights carrying on from here. Quite interesting because I know all these people from past Misfits cards, and these fights surprised me. First, we've got Ginty versus FaZe Temper. Now, if we look at Ginty's track record, stepped in, he had to fight an opponent on short notice on the first Kingpin card. He was meant to fight Luke Bennett, but Luke Bennett never fought him because he's like autistic. Why would you put Luke Bennett in a fight? And he ended up dropping that man and winning or KO'd him, I don't know. Stepped in the ring with JMX. JMX dropped him with in 10 seconds. And then Ginty had a wild and it knocked JMX off balance because JMX was clearly jiggling in his nerves. But he lost that fight, got knocked out. Since then, on Misfits X Series 5, he fought Halal Ham in the deadest fight you've ever seen because barely any punches were thrown. I think Ginty won because he threw 3 punches. And one was when poor Halal Ham had to take that fight. Massive height difference, massive size difference. And Halal Ham had to work his way into that guard of Ginty, which was going to be incredibly hard. So that one time when Halal Ham came rushing in the corner and Ginty caught his head and he fell. So Ginty won that fight. I believe that was Ginty's last fight. So Ginty's got something to prove of, I'm not a boring fighter, I can do this. And FaZe Temper, I would say, is levels above Ginty. But FaZe Temper, first fight against Kenny, both their first fights were a bit rusty. Kenny got given a win, even though most people thought Temper won, so the decision was overturned. It was Temper's win. He was meant to fight Blueface. Blueface pulled out, fight Slim on short notice, gets caught because he dropped his guard and knocked out. Had a return fight on short notice against Overt Flow. Obviously, 5 seconds, literally easy. I literally think Overt Flow was put in there to lose. And then on Misfits X Series 004, FaZe Temper was obviously meant to fight a mystery opponent, and KSI was meant to fight Dylan Dennis. Dylan Dennis pulls out. Joe Fonian was meant to be the step-in for KSI, but Misfits decided, no, we'll put FaZe Temper because he's a southpaw. So FaZe Temper doesn't get his mystery opponent. B-Dave gets mystery opponent. Mystery opponent turned out to be Pineda. Imagine you're going to fight Pineda to you're going to fight KSI. Yeah, he got knocked out in the first round. So Temper has something to prove. That was 8 months ago, however. And since then, he's been training with Malik Scott in the gym. Malik Scott, Deontay Wilder's trainer. A lot of training going on. So he's clearly been trying to improve. I thought there was going to be a massive height difference here because I thought Ginty must have been way bigger than Temper. But then when you dumb it down and you realise Ginty's been on a weight loss journey, Ginty's lost all his weight. Temper's 6'4". Temper, I think, is an inch taller than Ginty. So it's quite even there for height and size. That's why I give FaZe Temper a massive advantage because FaZe Temper is technically way better. What I would give Ginty is maybe his trading and his ability to let shots go. But then again, I think being with a legendary trainer with Malik Scott for 8 months, he's gonna teach you enough things to know that when someone's training with you, how to handle it. And I think Tempa's going to handle Ginty, and I think Tempa might get a knockout. And I didn't like Tempa at the start. I like Tempa now. Come on, Tempa. This next fight massively surprised me because Halal Ham, the man who fought Ginty, is now fighting Ashley Raksu. Ashley Raksu, look at his track record. Stepping there with AT, dropped in 3 seconds, dropped again later on. The fight went all the rounds. Didn't look too bad, really. Beat King Kenny because King Kenny wanted to show off and didn't actually want to throw punches. And Ashley Raksu put the pressure on him and kind of exposed him. So Ashley Raksu did good in that fight, won that fight, but then he's downgraded to Halal Ham. Why? Because he wanted to step up to Sol Papi. Because Halal Ham, after he fought Sol Papi, Halal Ham went to Sol Papi's camp because he saw Sol Papi was clearly good. Since then, Halal Ham's left Sol Papi's camp, so it doesn't really make sense. But I suppose it is a stepping stone towards Sol Papi. I think this fight is an obvious win for Ashley Raksu. I think it could be a knockout for Ashley Raksu. But rest your soul, Halal Ham, you're a legend because you're a veteran in the YouTube boxing game. 3-2, yes, but you've been there since day one. But I think after this, Ginty gets knocked out and Halal Ham gets knocked out, that could possibly set up another rematch, and maybe it could be like no boring fight this time. And then Ashley Raksu, say he knocks out Halal Ham devastatingly, could maybe get his fight with Sol Papi, and maybe everyone could be happy that round. Now, the final fight, the main event. Idris Virgo from Love Island. In Shoot Fighters, the same camp as KSI, Arms Corleone. That means I missed the fight. Arms Corleone and all these people. MVP. Who the fuck's MVP? It's Michael Van Page, that's not the same. Shush. London Shoot Fighters. Right? Idris Virgo from Love Island. His opponent, Aaron Chalmers from Geordie Shore. Right? Idris Virgo, 13-0 pro, but really fought journeyman. Best man he fought was Anthony Taylor, and he dropped him and embarrassed him. Aaron Chalmers been in the cage, did alright in the cage. Since he's been in the boxing ring, was in there. Won his first professional boxing match. Was in there with Floyd Mayweather. Obviously, it's Floyd Mayweather. It's an exhibition. One, Floyd Mayweather's not going to go hard. Two, you're not going to beat Floyd Mayweather. Was in there with Kiefer Crosby and was doing pretty good. Unfortunately, got dropped and didn't win the fight. But I think you've got a very good fight here because they're both equally, like, you could both give reasons for both men winning here, right? They're both established fighters. One was on Love Island, one was on Geordie Shore. One is from Newcastle, the place that we are hosting from, right? Hometown boy Aaron Chalmers. One is from Birmingham. I'm not sure what the places have to do with anything, but they do. Unfortunately, I do think Idris Virgo does have more skills than Aaron Chalmers. I think he might be a bit younger than Aaron Chalmers, and I think he has more power, more skill, and that's why I think Idris Virgo can scrape a decision win here. I don't think anyone's getting stopped, but please, Aaron Chalmers, do stop him. I'm going to root for Aaron Chalmers, obviously, so I'm not going to say he loses because I'm supporting him because he's hometown hero, and me and Aaron Chalmers got a special connection. So I'm going to root for Aaron Chalmers. And I'm going to say Aaron Chalmers knocks him out. But if I'm being smart about it, I can see like a unanimous decision, Idris Virgo. But through talking about everything, I realised I missed a fight. Master Uguay was going to fight Simba. I was like, oh, Simba's going to fight. No, Simba couldn't do it. Simba pulled out. So on 2 weeks' notice, they said, oh, Master Uguay's got a mystery opponent. They revealed their mystery opponent to be Arms Corleone, a man in London Shoot Fighters who London Shoot Fighters trained. Idris Virgo, KSI, two undefeated established fighters. Arms Corleone's had one fight against Minicon and he won, but his stamina was horrendous afterwards. He had to get stretchered out in an ambulance because he nearly collapsed because he's a big, fat, muscly man. But he's been in London Shoot Fighters since then. He's been training for quite a while, so I can imagine he's obviously found a way around that cardio problem. And I can see him absolutely, if he lands properly, he could probably bang up Master Uguay. But Master Uguay seems mega confident. And honestly, he's quite entertaining, so I'd love to see what he brings to play. I have no prediction for this, so I'm just going to back Arms Corleone for the sheer fact he's technically undefeated, and he's in London Shoot Fighters, and he's massive, and he could just rip his head off. So, there's my predictions. My predictions, winners, Carla Jade by knockout or stoppage, Puliarif by decision, AJ Bunker by unanimous decision. What's he called? Arms Corleone by knockout. OJ Rose by split decision. FaZe Temper by knockout. Ashley Vaxu by knockout. And Aaron Chalmers by first round obliteration. That's my predictions. I'll be there. I'll get a live reaction at the event. So thank you everyone for watching, and goodbye.